Get your blades ready, because we're on Blade Backpacko, our all-knife section, and if you're looking for a beautiful, inspired, and fun-to-use bush knife, you found it with the brand new Fox Ego. To be more precise, it's called the Fox Tops Ego because it's made by Tops in the United States. Designed by Alfredo Dorici, who is already the father of several knives that have definitely introduced and educated us in the woods, like the Vesuvius, the Explorator, and the Parang. How many have we had? The Tarlo? Well, this one is definitely a more refined design than the others. It's a project dedicated to mature bushcrafters, or, let's say, to those who already know they'll want to enjoy many outings in the beautiful woods. Wooden handles are delicious and extremely satisfying in the use of the knife. The Tops definitely has some similarities to a Nesmuk, for the more experienced. This is the Nesmuk by Beatrice. We've already talked about these, and you can find them at backpacko.it. You'll also find a video, a complete review where we go over the history of this blade. It's important because Alfredo Dorici draws inspiration from the Nesmuk to build a tool that is in turn extremely useful and reliable for bush operations. My impressions of this new little gem are that it is extremely solid, compact, remains controllable on wood, and is powerful when we want to perform a bit more complicated operations. I really appreciate the curved blade because in a single pass, reducing the surface area of friction with the wood, salami, or whatever you need to cut, it provides an extremely pleasant cut. The handle we're talking about, made of two-tone G10, is probably one of the most beautiful handles available on the market right now. At the same time, it's incredibly comfortable because it has a very ergonomic shape. I don't want to say it's perfect for everyone out there in the woods, but for me, guys, it was made just for me. I feel great with it. Even without gloves, this G10, which has a micro-texture on the surface, doesn't slip and doesn't irritate the hand. I can say the same for the jimping on the first portion of the spine that supports the thumb, without hurting it, or ruining our fingerprints, which then won't unlock our phones. The thickness is noticeable at 4.5 millimeters. It's definitely a knife that can support us in all the more intense activities. If we want to have fun battening for our Instagram stories, we can do it easily, especially with the blade thickness fully available up to 1 centimeter from the tip. Guys, this is genius. It's got a lot of metal, a good structure, and 3 screws to secure the G10 scales, so even if one were to loosen, the others will always provide a solid grip. Of course, let's not overlook the sheath. It's made from a single sheet of Kydex, so it's folded over itself, secured with 3 rivets, and has a hole at the bottom for drainage, allowing water to flow out. There are also several holes that, guess what, are perfect for mounting ulticlips, even for horizontal carry if needed. The sheath itself attaches really well. There's not even a to say it. On the back, we see the Tops logo and a sturdy clip that locks onto a belt. Now, let's see if it works on different belts. Well, it works great on a regular belt. This is a 5.11 double duty that I often take on hikes, and it attaches really well, both above and below, and doesn't move. I was curious to see how it performs with a military-style tactical belt, which is thicker, and here, guys, as far as I can tell, it fits perfectly, because it finds material and then locks in with the Velcro of the Warhawk modular belt from Direct Action, available on backpack.it. And for this one, the size exchange is free if you mess up measuring your waist. What's interesting about this sheath is that the clip is rotatable. There's a huge O-ring between the clip and the Kydex that reduces friction a bit and allows me, as you can see, to adjust it for a super comfortable horizontal carry. I really like this. It conceals the knife better under a jacket, and if I need it. The folder already has a thumb ramp, so I can deploy it in no time. If you want to dive deeper into how this project came about and the considerations Alfredo Dorici used in designing and guiding Tops and Fox in its creation, well, guys, there's a whole live session where we talked with him on the Backpacko YouTube channel, all at your disposal. The edge has a bit of a recurve at the start of the blade that lets us make curls, almost like we're hairstylists for trees. But let's also take a look at the technical specifications for those of you who love the numbers. The blade length is 96 millimeters, perfect for me for an all-purpose knife. Total length is 220 millimeters, and the blade thickness is a solid 4.5 millimeters. It is extremely robust because we have a spine, a saber, all the way to where the first bevel starts, all at 4.5 millimeters, a solid piece of steel. The weight, guys, while not insignificant at around 250 grams, is, well, balanced. This doesn't tire the wrist and allows you to work for a long time without that fatigue, which is usually felt with certain types of knives or with large shopping knives like a parang. Yes, the parang is also available on backpackco.it. And yes, we talked about the parang with our friend Alfredo Dorici in a live session where he shared all the secrets of this unusual project. The steel I used to make the Lego was chosen with an eye on survival and the ability to maintain the edge in the woods with almost anything. The 1095 carbon steel is extremely resilient and elastic, tempered to a hardness between 57 and 58 HRC by tops, providing us, guys, with a reliable blade that won't break easily. The chosen finish is stone washed, visible up to where the shoulder of the blade is, while the rest is satin finished. The primary bevel is clearly polished, and the micro beveling is done with screws made of stainless steel. I see 303 black Hydra glider for the Chicago finish. They all seem to be Torx screws, if I understand correctly. I confirm the handle is made of G10, a double-colored G10, which is a high-quality composite in fiberglass material, and the sheath, as mentioned earlier, is in Kydex with a metal clip. I have the option to attach the Ulti clip, which is all coming back on backpack. And who do I recommend the Fox Ego to? Well, obviously to serious bushcrafters, to nature and woods enthusiasts who want to enjoy beautiful hikes where they obviously stop to work. Otherwise, 250 grams of knife is a bit excessive. So yes, I recommend it to those who want to use the knife, to those who need a reliable, well-designed, and well-made working tool that will give you satisfaction from day one. And I also want to recommend it to blade collectors because a collaboration of this kind between an Italian designer and Tops is truly the first of its kind. You get a blade that features the logos of Tops and Fox, designed by an Italian pencil, guys. Well, it's a real gem that won't look out of place in any of your displays. A quick comparison can be made with another knife by Alfredo, which is the Explorator, or with the Nesmuk. They are similar knives, but clearly at different levels. The Nesmuk is interesting for its original geometry. This one by Beatrice is very well made. The Explorator is interesting, as it comes at a budget price for all our needs, all our adventures. I've also filed it a bit here to make some sparks, just the way I like it. Incredible! The Fox Ego is a knife you shouldn't miss. It's the one that really risks putting several pieces you already have at home on the bench. I invite you to also discover Alfredo's other designs, like the Parang, which is a very different knife from these, a military-inspired knife that is, however, extremely interesting to discover and use in nature. If you like knives, you're in the right place. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you'll get a notification every time a new video is ready. We'll see you around on the other social media too. Until next time.